Hey everybody, it's me, YT Steve Place here, and today I will be discussing The Flash Season 9 again. And I will be talking about how Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and Godspeed returning could make sense. Now, let's start off with Reverse Flash first. Now, a lot of people want the Reverse Flash in Season 9 to be the one that came back in time from centuries in the future. But I just really feel like if it was that version of Reverse Flash, he would have found out that Barry Allen was the Flash, so it wouldn't make sense. He would definitely figure out who he is in this time period. And so my idea, a lot of people wouldn't like, but I think it's the one that makes the most sense. That is for him to be brought back as negative Reverse Flash. Now, I know a lot of Reverse Flash fans would freaking hate it. But I mean, I think it could make a lot of sense. My idea for how he would be brought back, a lot of fans would hate that too, but at least it would happen. Basically, the Flash would end up defeating Red Death. And if the negative forces decide to choose Red Death as the next Avatar, maybe somehow Reverse Flash, when he died, he became a part of the dead negative forces. And maybe somehow Thawne is in some sort of like negative afterlife, some sort of weird negative afterlife. And maybe he somehow manages to take the power of the dead negative forces. He reconstructs it into his own like ideal thing. He manipulates it into what he wants it to be, and then he comes back into the real world somehow, and like he full-on resurrects himself, just like Darth Revan in Revan Reborn. Alright, let's move on to Zoom. Now, the way they could bring back Zoom wouldn't actually be that hard. And my idea, I actually got it from a good Flash YouTuber by the name of Pagey. Now, we did see Zoom get attacked by all those time wraiths and technically die, and he became the Black Flash. But the idea that Pagey had for Zoom's return actually made a lot of sense. Since Zoom came from Earth 2, and after the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, all of the Earths of the CW merged into one, which turned into Earth Prime. So maybe after all of the Earths got merged into one, maybe Zoom's timeline sort of got like tinkered with a little bit, I guess you could say. And maybe somehow the Zoom we see now is the one from the origin flashback when he's in like the psych ward or whatever, the asylum. But maybe this Zoom still remembers everything from Season 2, but the only thing that makes it different is that he's back in the asylum where he was. So he already knows how to do everything and does the speed, so that he's back in the asylum. He still has the memory and everything. It's still the Season 2 Zoom, but he's now back in the asylum. Alright, now, let's move on to Savitar. These next two are a little tricky with me, Savitar and Godspeed, but I tried to come up with cool ideas of how they could return to the best of my ability. So, my idea for Savitar returning, it would actually be sort of similar to my idea of Reverse Flash returning. He would be in some sort of negative afterlife with Reverse Flash, and maybe they both teamed up there or something. And this version of Savitar would also be sort of a mix of Reverse Flash from Armageddon. And maybe this version of the Barry Allen Reverse Flash ends up actually killing everybody in that place that they're in. He just kills all of them. He has the red lightning, the red eyes, and he's like just a demon. He's a speedster. And maybe while Savitar was in the negative afterlife, maybe somehow his memory sort of went away. So then he eventually started remembering everything, and then he remembered that he lost to his past self back during Season 3. So then he wants revenge against his past self, and he wants to kill him now. Alright, now, let's move on to Godspeed. So, I kind of became a little lazy with this one, because I still don't know much about Godspeed, because I'm already a diehard on Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and I'm becoming a diehard and a nerd on all the lore about Red Death, but I still don't know that much about Godspeed. But what I would do is maybe have him be in the negative afterlife as well. And maybe season 9 we could be exploring this crazy afterlife that villains go to. And then maybe, similar to Spider-Man No Way Home when there was all the villains coming through the portal, maybe we'd have something crazy like that where we see Red Death, and we would also see the Red Death from the comics, which is Batman and Flash combined. But then somehow the Flash himself, he goes to the fullest speed possible, and he becomes the fastest thing in existence. It's how he'd end up defeating all 4 of these speedsters. He would go to the fullest speed possible in the entire multiverse, and he would have the most insane amounts of power that any speedster could imagine. But yeah, that's how I'd bring back Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and Godspeed in The Flash Season 9. If any of you that do watch this, or if you have watched this, comment down below your ideas of how any of these speedsters can return. And if you dislike how I do it, all I ask is don't be disrespectful. Just type why you disagree and why you don't like how I described it in a respectful way. Just say it in a kind way, and then I will go ahead and conversate with you. But if you're being toxic and annoying and being a dick, then of course I'm not going to listen to you. I just want the comment section to be a polite comment section. Tell me why you don't like the way I described them returning, and tell me what you like and what you would and how you would bring them back. How you'd bring back Reverse Flash, Zoom, Savitar, and Godspeed. But if I were to say what my favorite speedster out of all 4 of these I'd want back the most, I'd probably have to say, like, Zoom. Yeah, either a Zoom or a Godspeed, because we've already seen Reverse Flash brought back a lot of times. In Savitar, we've already seen, like, evil Flashes before, Season 3 and Season 8 Armageddon. We haven't really seen that much of Zoom or Godspeed. And plus, the newspaper we saw in Flash Season 8, I think, or 7, we did see a teaser of Godspeed and Zoom teaming up and destroying Central City. So yeah, but I'll discuss more about this in maybe a few months. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Bye-bye!